Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the lists in the Dart language. Lists in Dart are ordered collections of objects and provide a way to store and organize multiple items under a single variable name. There are two main ways to create lists in Dart. First way is create a list using square brackets. For example, with var keyboard var fruits equals apple, banana, and orange. And with list keyword, list names equal Tom, John, and Alice. And the list of scores, list scores equals 10, 20, 15, 7, 13, and 8. Print fruits, print names, and print scores. I run the program. And now you can see the values in the console. Also, you can create a list with multiple types of data. For example, list user data equals username John, user age 13, and user active status true. Print user data I run the code again, and you can see the user data with multiple types in the console. Okay. Second way to create a list is using the list constructor. Don't worry if you don't know about constructor. I will talk about constructors in the object-oriented programming sections. To create a list with the constructor, list numbers equals list constructor dot field length of list, for example 3, and initial value, example 1, and print numbers. I run the program, and you can see the list with 3 items. This is a fixed length list, and you cannot change the length of the list later. That means the size of this list cannot be changed after initialization. If you need your list to be growable, you can do it this way. Growable true. Format the code. And now you can add new values to it. For example, numbers dot add 10. I run the code and you can see the list with new item. And you can add a new list to the previous list. Numbers dot add all 20, 30, and 40. I run the code and now you can see the list and new items in the list. Okay, let's talk about accessing each element of the list. The most common way to access individual elements in a list is by using the index operator with the element's position. Remember that list indices in Dart start at 0. So the first element is at index 0, the second at index 1, and so on. For example, I want to get number 12 from the list I have already prepared. This number is in the index number 1 and I act like this. Print numbers 1 and I run the code. Okay. For other example, print numbers 2. I run the code and we get the second value and the third value of the list. Also, we can navigate lists and access their elements with loop commands. I will talk to you about loops in Dart in the next videos. Alright, let's talk about the list properties. To access the first and the last elements of a list, you can use the first and last properties. For example, print numbers dot first and print numbers dot last. I remove these statements and I run the code. Very well, this is first item of the list and this is the last item of the list. In many cases, we need to get the length of the list. The length property returns the number of elements in a list. This is one of the most commonly used list properties. To get the length, I act like this. Print numbers dot length. I run the code and you can see the number 6 in the output. Alright. Also, in many cases, we need to check if the list has a value or not. For this, I will do it like this. I use is empty property and print numbers that is not empty properly. I run the code again. First print says false because our list is not empty, and second print is true. To make this more clear, I define new list empty list equals empty data. I run the code again, and the first print says empty list is empty, and the second print returns false for the is not empty property. Okay. If this video was useful for you, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. And if you have any questions, ask me in the comments.